We're just excited to get going. We're a weird sport where we play our first game in almost a week, and we're not even full hours yet from a practice standpoint. We're still in limited hours with these guys. So, in college hockey, everybody kind of has to drink out of a fire hose, until their first game, and that's what it always feels like. So, you prepare them the best you can, and today the intensity was really good. If we carry that over for the next week and a half, I feel really good about our team.
Greg, we talked before about the pieces of the foundation. You finally got the last one joining a conference. First off, just what does it mean for the program, and then secondly, what is the challenge going into probably the best conference in the country?
Yeah, I think obviously what it means for our program, from a recruiting standpoint, our ability to get even some of the players that we have here now, they're not going to come play for an independent program. We learned that the hard way, and it was life as we knew it. But now, recruiting is definitely at a higher level than it's ever been because of the league, and then the challenges of being in a league so good. Top 20 came out yesterday, and 8 of the 9 teams are ranked in the top 20. There are no nights off. So as an independent, you can look at it one of two ways. You can look at it as, you play Denver one weekend and then a new independent the next weekend, which we've done, and it's tough mentally for kids. But in this league, there are no nights off, and you have to stay here if you're going to have success. So, we wanted to build an old team this year, and we did, full of kids that maybe transferred from places that have been through the rigors of a really tough league schedule, and hopefully that pays off.
I'm sure you saw the preseason media poll. Does that add anything to you guys, whether it's motivation?
No. No offense to the media, but we don't really care what you guys think.
Coach, every year you go through the transfer portal. This year you hit it pretty hard. What was your mindset going into it? What did you want to bring to this team?
Yeah, experience, right? Just kids that have been through the rigors of a conference schedule, and going into this first year, we're old, we're experienced, whether it be guys that have been with our program and are really proud of what they've helped build, or guys like, Artem Schlein, who's a fifth-year guy and led Northern Michigan in scoring and was their captain, or Cruz Lucius, who was a leading scorer at Wisconsin, or Ryan Kerwin, who was a gunslinger at Penn State. The list goes on and on. So Noah Beck at Clarkson, Bennett Shimmick at Providence, and then even guys that have been with us now for a while, like Lucas Sillinger and the Jackson twins, they've been through it. So, we have enough depth and experience on our roster where we're not going to use being new as an excuse.
To piggyback off that, obviously you kind of force chemistry with those guys with the experience to come in. How much does that help this team in developing chemistry when you get on guys?
We're still developing it, right? I think everybody's going to tell you, that's what the first month is for, especially when you're in a conference. Non-conference play is obviously really important. You want to get through it, with a winning record and head into conference play with your confidence high. But there's still a lot about our team that we're learning every day, and it's going to take playing games to really figure some things out and continue to get better. And you just hope you come out on the winning side of it. Last year, we didn't play great hockey in our first 4 games. We came out of it 4-0. It's when you start the year, the systems and detail and all that and the habits, all those things are really important. But at the end of the day, you just want a team that's going to go out and try and grit their way to wins. And I know these guys have it in them, and that's what we're going to hopefully see them do.
Is there anyone that you brought in that kind of surprised you in a way, and someone that you might think is maybe underrated that have a standout year this year?
We didn't bring anybody that's underrated. We had a really good recruiting class, both in the transfer portal and as freshmen. The 3 freshmen D are really, really high-end players, whether Joel Schellberg from Sweden, who was a high-end D in the USHL, Brazen Bozer, 3rd-team All-USHL, led the league in plus-minus. Sam Court, was, the CJHL Defenseman of the Year in Brooks's last year and had 87 points. Can run a power play at an elite level. We don't feel like we brought in anybody that we don't have high expectations for, or that's kind of under the radar. And then obviously Cullen Potter, who's our only freshman forward. So, they're all going to make mistakes. They're freshmen, but we're going to let them play through those, and they're big pieces of the present and huge pieces of the future.
Speaking of Cullen Potter, obviously everybody knows about his speed. He's one of the fastest guys in his draft class. But what else is kind of stuff about him?
he's got a huge IQ. He's actually a really, really bright player, and especially when he has the puck. So we got to find ways in every situation when he's on the ice to make sure he's in a situation where he has the puck because he can make plays. He's not just a speed burner. His speed and his skating is literally world class. Everybody knows that. But he can really think the game, and he's going to be good. He's going to make mistakes. He's 17, and there's some habits and some detail to his game that we continue to work on. But again, he's a kid that we're going to let him play through those mistakes. It's a great fit for him. He's the only freshman forward. We got a lot of experience around him to insulate those mistakes with. And like I said, I stand by what I said, back when he committed. I think by, Thanksgiving, Christmas time, you're going to see him go from here to here because he's a special player.
Playing off that, this is going to be a physical challenge for him stepping into this league. You feel like you're able to shelter him in that way too?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I think, he's not slight of frame. If you saw him, off the ice, he's got a baby face, but he's got a good frame, and so, I think he's ready. Mentally, most importantly, he's ready for the challenge and ready for the opportunity, and we're here to help guide him along, but he's going to be really good.
Just as the roster as a whole, where do you feel like the talent on this roster kind of compares to previous seasons that you've had?
From a depth standpoint, it's by far the best roster we've had. It doesn't mean that we expect to go undefeated, but it's not even close. It's if you look at the skill up and down the lineup, the depth on the back end, I think is by far, to me, the biggest difference in any roster we've ever had. We have 8D that can really play, and they all bring something different to the table. But we're deep. We got a couple guys out right now. We don't expect them out for too long, but we can sustain that with the depth we have.
Coach, the main goal is obviously to always win a national title. Do you have any other expectations, and where are your other goals for this team?
The only goal I have right now is to beat Air Force next Friday. That's it.
Coach, with the departure of the Coyotes, spotlights on ASU hockey. How does that? Were you guys prepared for that? What are you telling your teammates and your players about what they're going to expect this season?
Yeah, no, I mean we're the show in town, right? And I think most importantly, obviously we want to win no matter if the NHL's here or they're not here. None of that really changes our mindset on the ice. But I think the biggest impact we can make is off the ice in the community. And we've done things like a free coaches clinic for youth and high school coaches. The guys have been out in the community, I think, in the last month and a half more than probably the past year. And we're going to continue to do those things and really reach out to the youth hockey community and open our arms to them. And we've told every organization whatever they need from us, they'll get. But we can make a really big impact off the ice, and that's what we're going to do.
Do you feel a responsibility to carry that?
Yeah, I think it's we have to continue to grow the game here, and the best way to do it is to have the NHL, and we've had it for a quarter of a century, and now it's gone. I don't even know if we're here without the NHL here. I really don't, and there's a lot of reasons I could get into for that. But, we have to carry responsibility. We have a beautiful arena that's full of the hockey community every night we play, and we have to give back to them so they continue to support us.
Pretty lethal power play last year, and you lost some strong pillars
Yeah.
within that. What has it been like in the preseason trying to rebuild that and get it back to the same power play?
Yeah, I mean, we're really confident that it can produce at a clip that it did last year, maybe even more. I mean, anytime you lose the fourth all-time leading power play goal scorer in NCAA history in COP, it's tough to replace that. But we have some trigger guys like Kerwin and Cullen Potter looks really good, and obviously up top we lost Timmy. But the guys that we're replacing him with, we have really high expectations for, and I think the catalyst to the success in the power play, if you ask anybody in our room, was Silly, and he's back. Silly ran everything. I mean, I think I could get 20 points on our power play just kicking it to Silly and letting him do his thing. So he's the key piece, and he's the leader on that unit, and he'll get it going.
Coach, can you speak on the leadership work by Schmacky and Burgesson?
Yeah.
What does that leadership work mean?
I think it says a lot about what the guys voted for. They voted for all the guys that have been here the longest and really given their heart and soul to our program. and that's great. You want to see that. Last year it was a little bit different. They voted Tyler Gratton, who was here for 2 months, almost a unanimous captain, and he was maybe the best captain I've had. So every team's a little bit different from that standpoint, but I think it's important that you let the players have a say in who they want to be their leadership group. We did, and now we're going to trust those guys to do what they need to do.
Coach, looking at your goaltending, I mean, you saw the departure of TJ last year. You've got Gibby and you've got Chase, and you've brought in 2 more guys. You've got 4. How do you expect to kind of manage your goaltending?
Well, look, like four has been great, and people look at that and they're like, but what it allows you to do from goalie sessions to skill sessions to power plays to, it really gives you a target at all times, right? If one goalie goes down, we had one guy break his finger and he was out for almost 2 weeks. And even going down to 3, where there's moments and things you do where you don't have a target. So it's really good. I think Gibby and Pav are clearly the guys that are going to be leaned on for time. And those other guys are doing a great job, and they're great teammates. They're supporting the guys really well. They're both really good goalies. But those are the 2 guys we're going to lean on, and we'll see where it goes.
You rode TJ a lot last year, and then you went into Gibby. Do you expect to ride Gibby a lot, or are you going to do a little bit more kind of back and forth?
Well, again, it's a week-to-week thing, and it's a gut thing. I do a lot of things and coach a lot of ways in general, just with my gut. I do see both getting time early, and that's the thing that people discount. Gibson Homer won our net last year. He won our net through practice, and then he got his opportunity in games, and he just kept winning and kept, keeping the puck out of the net, and he won the net. And so, the net was rightfully his by the end of the year, and he might be our sharpest player in practice every day. He's very, very good right now, and gives us a lot of confidence with the back, with that being so solidified.
Greg, I know you don't want to look past there for us, but what are realistic expectations for this team this year?
I think realistic expectations are to host a playoff series, and I think that if you get into this league and you can host a playoff series, you're getting into the tournament, right? And so, we want to fill Mullet with a playoff atmosphere and have the opportunity to do that this year, and I think that's realistic. We know how tough the league is. We respect how tough the league is. In our last 15 games in this league, we have an over 500 record, and we think we have a better team this year than we've ever had. So our expectations, I think, are realistic. But again, we're just going to get through. Everybody wants to talk about, and that's going to be the focus here with our players. Is everybody wants to talk about the league. It is a big deal. We're excited for the league. We've worked hard to get into this league. But we have 8 games we have to focus on, and internally, that is the focus. We're not even talking about the league right now.
Coach, for your center depth this year, you bring back Ryan Alexander, looking for a better year from last year. But for Kyle Smollett, last year you put him with Benji and Ryan over in Providence. Do you expect to have a similar experience with Cullen, putting him with maybe older and bigger players?
Well, he's going to be with older and bigger guys because I don't think we have anybody smaller than him, and we certainly don't have anybody younger than him. But right now, RA looks really good. He looks better than he's ever looked. Last year, he came off a hip surgery in the offseason. He had no summer. He had no training. It took him 2.5 months just for his legs to fire up, and he looks incredible. He had a huge offseason, his first offseason where he could really get in shape for a few years. And we got him on a line with Smolin and Benji, 3 guys that can play down the middle. And you can use a line like that in any situation. They fly up and down the ice. They play the right way. They're all 200-foot players. They can all win face-offs. They're going to be a really, really good line for us.
What's your motto and mindset you're telling your team this season?
Be relentless. I think we're so fast. We have such a really fast, skilled team that our players have to have the mindset that they can't just use our speed and our skill when we have the puck. If we use our speed and tenacity when we don't have the puck, we're going to be really, really hard to play against because we are a very fast team.